I wanted to share with you some of my favorite features of Google Docs. And these are the same things that I sometimes find myself in meetings walking across the table and showing to people. So I feel like, why not put it in a video? So the first thing that we're going to look at is inserting tables and looking at some of the features that we can use with tables. So here we have a table. I just went to insert and then table, and then I picked the one I wanted. What happens once the table is inserted is you can put any information in, like let's say you wanted students to make a commentary, you could put their name in, and then they each have a place to work without getting in each other's business. Similarly, like when you have enough space in the classroom, now Juan knows he's going to do his work here, Maria can do her work there, and Sophia can work there. One of the things I find is really tricky when you've inserted a table already is adapting it, and it comes back down to this double tap feature that you can do on the mouse pad, but you can't do anywhere else on here. So that's the one thing that's different with Google Docs and Word, is that a lot of the features are just available when you select them. So for example, let's say that Max joined the group. Well, there's no spot for Max. So if Max tries to put his stuff here and then he has to put information in this one, he's not going to have his neat little column and rows. So Max needs his own row. So the way that I give Max a new row is I highlight a new row, and I'm going to show you on my mouse pad how to double tap, because after a row is highlighted you can double tap and then the column insert row or insert column shows up. So I want to insert a row. Let's put him above so he doesn't feel like he's last. And now he has a space to work. It'll work just as well if, let's say, you wanted to add 4 new rows at a time. Maybe you join groups together. You then can double tap and insert. Oh, well, here we go, 4 rows above. Obviously, you can also just take data inside of this chart and then put it in. Maybe each of them are doing a first draft and a second draft, or you could say I only want these people up front and then I'll put more people down there. So we just went over the magic of tables, double tapping, and then revision history. So one of the things I love working with on students is the version history. So sometimes if one student gets all crazy and starts deleting all the work or starts messing with other people's work, you might be able to go back and go back to the version history that you need. So you can see the version history. I opened it earlier this evening, and now I have it here. So let's say I wanted the more blank version history. I could look at it. That's too blank. Now there's this one. So I can kind of decide how far back I can go. So that's under version history. You should go to File, Version History. The last thing is one of my favorite things to show students and teachers is just using hyperlinks. So let's say, for example, Juan wanted to link his work that he was doing, or let's say it was me, and I was linking. Right now I'm working on a chart to locate which PD hours I'm going to be doing this summer. So these are my PD hours that I'm committing to, and I want to show the group. Well, I could write all my information in this document, or I could actually link my work. So my summer PD hours are in a different document. So I'm going to open up a different document here. And these are the things that I'm thinking about doing. I've already linked a couple things in here, but I need to actually take this document called Summer Classes and get a shareable link to that. So what I'm doing is I'm moving something into this document by getting the shareable link. So I go to the blue button that says share, and I go to get shareable link, and I usually share in the can view options. I have gotten the copied link onto my clipboard and press done, and then I move to my original document where I want to link. Now a lot of students like to just drop it in. This is not my favorite way to see it, so I show them to highlight the text and then to link it. So I apply it that way. So I'll show you one more time. If I want to add a link, I would add in, let's say I need to go to the specific website, like I want to know what's going on in Learning Zone. And I don't want to just add in a long link here, I want to actually link it. So I can highlight the text, go to the infinity button or the insert link button, and then I'm actually going to insert a link into Learning Zone here. Well, I am looking at this interoffice correspondence about data science. That seems pretty interesting. Let's do that. We'll just link it here. It's something that's going to be available on Learning Zone. But you know what? I actually think maybe Learning Zone isn't the best way to title it. So I want to change the text. This is better as data science. Apply. So today we've learned how to insert a chart, do a double tap to add rows and columns. We've looked at revision history and also how to get the blue shareable link. The last thing I'm going to add is that when you are sharing links to documents, sheets, drawings, this link does not work unless it's only on your computer. If you want to share a link with somebody else, you have to press the blue shareable link. Thanks for watching.